I've pitched against Oaxaca twice this year. In 14 2/3 innings, they've scored 3 runs and struck out 29 times. But for whatever reason, playoff baseball is completely different. So I don't expect these next outings to go nearly as smoothly as the first 2. Plus, apparently they've been studying my YouTube channel and they think they have me figured out. Let's see how it goes. While I'm warming up for the game, keep in mind that over the last 7 weeks, I've only thrown 5 innings at altitude, so I'm gonna have to deal with being a little bit out of breath. Probably my pitches are gonna be moving a little bit differently, potential energy drains due to the altitude, and against one of the best offenses and by far the hottest offense in the league right now in what's the equivalent of the league championship series. So we had a little bit of stuff working against us.
Well, my body's definitely loose today. Velo should come easy. Hopefully the legs are there. Usually on days when my body's like really loose, my legs can feel kind of like almost weak in a sense, a little wobbly. But generally when I get in the game, they're there. So I think we'll be fine. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Ready? Go. Okay, Barrera's gonna swing. Stay away from him, struggles on splits. Wanted to swing.
So we start the game off with a ball, and this is actually something I want to draw your attention to for this game. Let's count how many times I'm behind in the count. This is 1.
That's an out. 90's not good though. We gotta put a little bit more oomph on it. I don't know this guy. Did pretty well though.
The reason I didn't know him is because last time I faced these guys, he wasn't in the lineup. I don't know if he's on the team and was just hurt or what, but this is the first time I faced him all year.
Start him off with a splitter. Splitter's good today.
Despite the splitter being good, that is now 2 times I've been behind in the count.
2-0, not what we want. Oh, you're right on that timing wise.
Yeah, 2-0 fastball right down the middle at the knees to a lefty is not a good pitch. It's a recipe for disaster, especially because the scouting report on this guy coming into the series was avoid the down and in area. That was dangerously close.
He's down and in. We got a cutter, back foot for the strikeout if we can land this splitter. Yep. I like the splitter today. Oh, that wind is strong. Nice swing.
Now, I'm more than willing to tell a hitter, good swing, good at bat, nice eye, hey, you hit that hard, good job, anything like that on the field, because I respect when the hitters do well. Now, we're gonna see a little later in this video that there's some animosity between the teams, and I don't know where that came from. I was just out there having a good time. And then they started chirping and bitching, but we'll get to that in a second.
So the wind is blowing in. Doesn't change anything. We're still gonna stay away. He's gonna swing. We'll go change up.
So that's 3 counts in a row that I've been behind in the count. We're 0 for 3 on first pitch strikes, and this is a little bit of a trap right now because I'm feeling pretty good with the splitter, but I forgot that splitters aren't consistent at altitude, and that's gonna come back to bite me a little bit later.
So they're not being aggressive. Boy, I'm behind a lot today. Just need to set up in the middle, stick to our approach, but I recognize this bat, so we can't go in.
Yeah, early in the year, I got behind 3-0. I threw a fastball away to get to 3-1, and then I threw a fastball trying to go up and in, but I left it down and in, and he hit it for a homer. And that's what I meant by I recognize this at bat. I was having flashbacks of him hitting a homer off me and did not want any part of that. Scouting report on Alexi coming in was, doesn't have the most power away. He can go up and away, get a little weak fly ball. He can go down and away. The worst he's going to do is hit that for a single the other way. All of his power comes down and in, so that's what I was trying to avoid.
All right. Hey, middle, first pitch. We're setting too much on the corners. Emerista will try to steal. Yariel Gonzalez. Mix up our timings and slide step.
Well, if you're keeping track, that's 0 for 4 on first pitch strikes.
Go short hold. Right on it. There's our chase.
That's the first ball out of zone that they've chased. It was a really good pitch. It started down and in, right in his power zone, broke off the plate, but they'd come out very patient. And it actually surprised me because earlier in the year when I faced them, they were all very aggressive. So they definitely had changed up their approach a little bit, but I wasn't doing myself any favors being behind in the count.
Go change up here. Long hold.
And that changeup started exactly in the same tunnel as the cutter before it, and it had different movement, and I didn't get a swing. It was in the zone a long time, it looked like a pitch you just swung at, it barely missed the zone, and not a swing. And I was starting to get a little bit confused. I was like, how are they laying off these pitches? These are good pitches, they're close. It was a little bit confusing, and I'm still not sure I've even figured it out now. They had a good approach.
They really don't want to swing today. I need a strike here. That's going to be a homer or an out? An out. Well, I got lucky there.
Oh, that was scary. When he hit it, I thought homer. One, we're in Mexico City. Two, that was a 3-1 fastball down and in, and he got the barrel to it, and that is another recipe for disaster. So we got the out, but we danced around a little bit of fire right there. Didn't get burned yet, but we got to be better in the second inning.
That was right in his nitro zone. Hey, they're being really patient, huh?
Yeah, I don't know if those are just like not where they're looking, or
I mean, they're like close, but they're all balls.
I think they're all looking in, and that's why you got the swing on the cutter.
Yeah, because the one down and in that he fouled off, he was right on time with, the second guy. And then that one down and he was right on time with, and he chased it down and in cutter pitch.
They're probably looking for close and trying to hit them.
Yeah.
That's their only way to beat you.
Yeah. We got to find something we can throw for a strike one.
Well, I try to go to the cutter. I feel like that's your best command pitch usually.
Yeah.
Or at least it gets swing if it's in the tunnel that works.
Yeah. Changeup's good today. I like it. It's just I'm starting a little bit too far off.
Again, the splitter was good. In the first inning, it was averaging 1 vertical and 12 horizontal movement, which is an elite profile. But like I said, splitters aren't consistent in altitude.
Of course, right at game time, we get lightning strikes off in the distance. I think I over-warmed up a little bit because I was definitely tired in the first inning. My legs are like a little weak. I'm gonna put a little more effort into my first pitches, get them in the zone.
In the bottom of the first, Marmoleos hit a solo homer to put us up 1-0, and everything was business as usual. We had the lead, I was getting outs, things seemed normal.
The wind is blowing in and in from right, so just gotta get ahead here.
Yeah, 0 for 5 on first pitch strikes. This is concerning. Being 2-0 to Kyle Martin is not where I want to be. He's got as much or more power than anyone in the league, and now I have to kind of throw him a fastball. I have a 1-run lead. I'm going to throw a strike here. He's probably going to be looking for a fastball. This is just like a train wreck waiting to happen.
Oh boy. Get ahead and we fall behind 2-0. Good swing, Kyle.
Fortunately, I got that 95 up at the top of the zone where he struggles to get to, and we get to 2-1.
95, good. Start being competitive instead of passive. Good swing. Dead zone cutter. How did you hit that? That was impressive.
I almost got the freeze. I threw the cutter down and in. He swung at ball. I figured he was going to be patient, so I was trying to go with the fastball in, but I was trying to go up and in because he hammers balls down and in. Like, he'll hit this legitimately 500 feet. I've seen it many times this year. I missed the zone and he didn't swing, which is good. But again, a missed spot by another 1.5 feet. I am not sharp at all. Yeah, remember how I said he hammers balls down and in? I'm lucky that wasn't a homer.
Get ahead in the count, Trevor. Okay, this guy is going to swing. Barnes not going to steal, I don't think, but we'll slide step anyway.
Okay, I've mentioned it a couple times in this video, long hold, slide step, stuff like that. In the playoffs, I pay a lot of attention to not giving up free bases. In the regular season, I don't pay attention to it nearly as much. I'm just focused on getting the hitter out, but in the playoffs, 1 run can be a huge difference maker, both for momentum and winning a game. And since the games are so important, it's important to not give up that extra base, especially in this case. Man on second, nobody out. If he gets to third with 1 out, sac fly scores him. If he gets to third with 0 outs, they have 2 chances for a sac fly to score him or a ground ball in the infield, and then we don't have the lead. So I gotta keep him at second here. Oh geez, finally a first pitch strike, even though I missed by like 2 feet. I got the call on the first pitch cutter. We're now 1 for 6 on first pitch strikes.
We're ahead. Gotta go right back to that. Go again, or we go feed a fastball down away.
I decided to go with the fastball down and away for this reason. Watch his body language on the last slider. Do you see how he's on his toes and he's falling across the plate on the swing, or the lack of swing? That tells me he's looking slow and he's looking away and he's waiting for the ball to break away from him. So I figured if I just threw him a fastball down and away, he would take it. Now the other option here is to go fastball up and in, knowing that he's kind of leaning out over, but I'm unlikely to get a swing on that because as soon as he sees it's fast and not breaking, he's gonna flinch and try to get out of the way. So I need to throw it for a strike, and you don't get very many called strikes up and in.
Okay, got an out. 98.
So yeah, my velo was there, 97, 98 in the second inning. Usually that doesn't come out until like the 5th or 6th.
All right, Ramos.
Now I had faced Ramos before, and he was very similar to Kyle Martin. Hammers stuff down in the zone, but struggles on heaters up. Well, we're 2 for 7 on first pitch strikes now. I did get the strike, but that was dangerously close to being a homer. Again, down and in is not where I want to be. I got to be up in the zone, but I don't think I've hit a single spot yet.
4. Yeah!
That's a great play by my third baseman to cut the run down at home. I respect the decision on Oaxaca's part. They're trying to be aggressive, make something happen. We executed really well, close play at the plate, but we got the out. So now we're not in nearly as much danger of giving up a run this inning. This is great. Turned out well.
Throw strike 1.
All right, maybe we're starting to hit our groove a little bit here. We're now 3 for 8 on first pitch strikes. Still not great at all, but we are getting better in this inning. So this is Flores. I know him. He struggles on sliders away, cutters away. He will not swing at curveballs down, oddly enough, but he likes to get the bat extended on fastballs and shoot fastballs the other way. So struggles heaters up and in and breaking stuff away. So I decided to lead him off with a cutter.
Starting to find it now.
Two out bunt? That was kind of confusing. I guess it shouldn't have been because my fielding percentage is terrible. Maybe they're just trying to take advantage of the fact that I can't do PFPs. Maybe they're just trying to make something happen. Maybe he legitimately thought he could bunt for a hit there, but even if he does, it's first and second, 2 outs. I was a little confused by that, but either way, we get an easy out and we're out of the second.
Nice play, everybody. Good job, boys. Everybody. The yips have been cleared.
Kyle gets on third and you try.
I'm tired right now. Like my body's like in a,
No, for sure.
it's like low.
I feel tired too, just the altitude, bro.
But I mean, it's there. Yeah. I just also am spraying shit everywhere, so I need to get the flow back a bit.
Spray it, you're just trying to throw before you land.
Yeah.
That's all I see.
You're just
Yeah.
excited.
You're really getting in the ground.
Yeah.
And then you don't have time to like
I'm too quick.
get forward, exactly.
Yeah.
That's all I see.
You want to go get it.
Yeah. We'll lock it in.
I mean,
Yeah, when you get
you
your
locked it in when the guy got on third.
Yeah.
98, 98.
The last couple of batters were better. Things were starting in the middle and going this way instead of just being sprayed. So
No runs for the offense in the bottom of the second, so going out for the top of the third. I'm facing the 9-hole hitter. I got to get ahead here. I do not want to walk this guy or let him get on, leading to the top of the order for the second time.
my goodness, talk about energy drain. Let's get ahead with the heater.
4 for 9 on first pitch strikes, but 4 out of the last 4, so we're definitely cruising now.
There we go. That was probably like 88. 91, okay. Auto take on the slide step, huh? $92.
I think I surprised him a little bit with the 0-1 slide step, and he just auto took as soon as he saw it. I missed a little bit, but I figured if he was going to auto take that one, I may as well just do it again and throw a strike. Threw it right down the middle, but I got the out anyway. Sometimes middle is a pitcher's best friend.
Off the fists. Back to the top. Here's away, doesn't like changeup. Oh, god damn it.
So 5 for 10 on first pitch strikes, but I did give up a hit right there. I'm not really concerned about it though. I'm fine giving up a first pitch hit because the vast majority of the time, first pitches in play are gonna go to someone. And that ball did actually go right to my first baseman. It's just that he hit it so hard, my first baseman couldn't react to it before the ball was by him. So we give up a double, 1 out. We are facing the middle of the order here, but it's all right. We should be able to get out of this.
So you will steal third. Probably gonna get a bunt here. Who do we have in the 3-hole? Marista.
So if you pay attention, you'll see me checking the scoreboard a lot during this game, and I'm looking at the lineup. I'm trying to see who's coming up next, because in the playoffs, you sometimes pitch around people. Like, okay, I have an easier out on deck, let me pitch around this guy, because again, giving up 1 run can be the difference. In the regular season, I don't really pitch around anyone. I just go directly at people, and it's like, all right, if you beat me, you beat me. But the guy that I didn't want to face in this situation is Amarista. So I wanted to make sure I can get this guy, so I had 2 outs, man on second. I could pitch around Amarista if I wanted to and get to the guys on deck, because I would have a better chance getting them out.
You want the ball? Primero? Wants the ball because it's his first hit against me? All right.
Yeah, so that's Barrera. He's on second. He just got the hit. It was his first hit against me this year, and he actually was in a good-mannered mood. He was talking to me on the field. We were kind of laughing with each other. After the game, actually, we were at the same hotel, and he had me take a picture with his kid. So all's good in the first game, but things definitely changed, so pay attention later in the video.
Oh boy.
5 for 11, not the greatest start, but I can use it for a curveball. What I mean by that is after the fastball high, if I throw a curveball that looks like that and land it for a strike, there's a good chance that he's going to take that pitch. So I'm cataloging that in the back of my mind for later in the at-bat.
Well, we can use that for a curveball later. There we go. Curveball.
And 2 pitches later, that's exactly what I was talking about. Check out this tunnel with the high fastball and the curveball for a strike. Now, maybe he recognized curveball and just didn't want to swing at it, but I got exactly what I was looking for anyway, a take on a curveball.
Now we bounce it. 2-2. Back foot cutter, curveball again. Surprised to make contact with that. Really don't want this ball in play because of a hit, it's going to score him. I like this seam. Fastball down away. I'm confused on their approach. They're just not swinging at anything.
Yeah, I was still confused. I hadn't figured it out yet, and I still haven't today. I mean, I threw a really good curveball there below the zone. He fouled it off. I threw another one. He laid off it. I threw a fastball freeze down. I thought it was a strike, but it definitely was below the knees. Not my greatest at bat, but again, I was behind in the count. So when you get behind in the count, bad things like this happen, where you walk a guy to face the hottest hitter in the league and someone who's performed well against me historically. Not ideal.
Gotta watch for double steal here.
5 for 12 on first pitch strikes, and yeah, that was nowhere close. That was a splitter, and I was trying to throw it for a strike, and I think what happened is I just pushed it because I didn't want to throw it below the zone because they weren't swinging at balls out of the zone, so I got way too cautious with it. But I realized that in the moment, so I was going to make the adjustment.
Oh my goodness. What is going on?
And he had a really good swing on that fastball away, but it was down and away, and that's what I'm used to seeing out of him. He's going to take a good swing, he's going to foul it off. If anything, he's going to get a little single on it, and that's fine. Now, a single would score a run here, but I'm staying away from his power, which is down and in. Don't want anything to do with that.
Use a double play here. Don't really want to go heater in.
After the fastball down and away, I decided to go back to the splitter. My thought process here was it's going to start a little bit more in the middle of the plate, a little bit higher than the fastball, a little bit more central than the fastball. It's going to induce a swing, and when it bites below the zone, I'm probably going to get a rollover to second base and try to get my double play. So that's what I was shooting for here. Unfortunately, I missed really badly yet again. And here's the thing. Remember how I said splitters aren't consistent at altitude? Well, the first couple splitters in the first innings that I threw were moving at 1 vertical, 12 horizontal. These were moving between 10 and 12 vertical, so the pitch had completely changed. I don't know why. I was throwing it the same, but the movement was dramatically different. Could have been air pressure, could have been wind, I'm not sure, but that happens all the time at altitude. But since I hadn't pitched at altitude in 7 weeks, I'd kind of lost track of that.
What are we doing?
Another example of exactly what I'm used to getting on fastballs down and away. He just shoots it foul, and I have a nice little hole out there that I can go to whenever I need a strike. Now, to get the out here, I thought cutter down and in, because he likes that hot spot down and in with the fastball. So if I start something that looks like it and it breaks below the zone and back foot, I'm probably going to get a swing here. So that's what I went with. And I got exactly what I was looking for, just unfortunately he didn't miss it, he fouled it off. So now we got to figure out what to do next.
Changeup is the right pitch.
Changeup was not the right pitch. Now, it started in the right zone. It started down and in, but it did not move. It was 12 vertical and 4 horizontal. If that was 0 vertical and 12 horizontal, it would have ended up below the zone, arm side, which is exactly where I wanted it. And the reason that I thought it was the right pitch is because the cutter started down and in and broke this way, and then the splitter would start down and in and break the other way. It would end up being slower and get either a rollover or a swing and miss. And I started it exactly in the right place, but because the movement was different and I wasn't expecting that, it ended up exactly where I'd been trying to avoid to all their lefties, down and in. And it wasn't 97 this time to save me, it was 88. And it looks remarkably similar to this homer that he hit off me earlier in the year.
Que marcaron de Julián Ornelas como error, pero después se vino la respuesta justamente.
And now we're down 3-1, and that's terrible in the playoffs. They have all the momentum in game 1. Okay, deep breath.
All right. Well, we got the shitty part out of the way. Now we can get back to doing good. They got a good approach right now.
Again, real recognize real. They got a good approach. I can admit that. When you beat me, and they were beating me right now.
Strike one.
Six for 13 on first pitch strikes. Again, terrible still. We're below 50%, but we do get the out. Remember when I said throwing first pitch strikes generally go to someone? Well, here we go. So we give up a 3-run homer. Next pitch, we have another out, and we're back to doing what we do. Getting outs, giving the team a chance to win.
Okay, Kyle.
7 for 14 on first pitch strikes, but for the love of God, Trevor, can we not throw down and in to their lefties? It's like every pitch I throw just goes down and in to the one spot that I'm trying not to throw.
Curveball.
Oh my goodness. Kyle Martin hammers the bottom row. Down and in specifically. Fastballs, breaking balls, change-ups, anything in the bottom row, he crushes. And so the first 2 pitches of this at-bat are down and in. Oh my gosh. It's like I don't even recognize the guy on the mound right now. Watching this back, I'm like, who is that? That's not me. But it was me, unfortunately.
Let's try back foot slider.
Man in second, your glove is like this. And then,
They're seeing it.
yeah, and then when you throw the changeup, your fingers move.
Are they signaling?
And then you can see from second. So the runner, that is
Yeah,
second pitch.
makes sense. Yeah, because they're not swinging it like really good pitches.
Yeah.
So, okay. He hits breaking balls in zone. I've struggled with my curveball against him this year. So what is it to get him out?
Personally, the same thing I said to Ronnie, like use your big slider like you just did to Martin. It's your best weapon.
The
You
thing,
have to get a little creative with it because
yeah. The thing to him though is he stands so close to the plate.
Yeah, you
if
don't
I don't want to hit him in the front foot. So that's why to Martin I have plenty of room so I can throw it.
that's why I want Cutter again.
Yeah.
Because I think if you execute again, it's
My splitter was 0 or 1 vert. The one he hit was 12
I
vert.
would have guessed it was like 12 and cut.
So it's like I try to throw, and the ones in the first inning were like 13, 14 this way. That one was 5.
Yeah.
So it like cut and rode. So I can't trust it because every time I hit the seam shift, it does weird shit. So it's just like it started middle and it should have done this, and it did this right into his down and in hole.
Your fingers okay?
Yeah, everything's fine. My body is like fucking asleep for some reason. I tried to get myself going, and then after the home run, for whatever reason, I was like, oh, now I feel like myself.
Yeah.
And then like everything was true, and like I'm fine now.
All right.
Obviously, it sucks to fucking be down 3.
Just like to know.
Yeah, I'm good.
Can you hear the frustration in my voice right here? When I found out the splitter had completely different movement, I was just so upset because I knew that from earlier in the year, and I forgot. And that's a mental mistake in a playoff game, and it cost me. And that's tough to handle. So I was frustrated at this moment.
Get in the gap. Let's go. Score from first. Yeah! Come on, Robbie. Let's just attack their lefties now with heaters, cutters, and curveballs. We can come back to the split later, but since we've gone the first time through with a lot of splits, we can work those other two. And sweepers in if we need to. I have a pretty good feel for that today. My energy's back now, which is good. Took a 3-run homer to wake me up, I guess, but fuck it.
The offense promptly put up 2 runs, though, to bail me out. So going out for the 4th inning, I was feeling better. It's 3-3 game, brand new ball game. I just got to keep it here, give the team a chance to win. That's it. Seven for 15 on first pitch strikes. Oh boy.
Slider again. Okay. Perfectly placed slider down away and right off the end.
Yeah, it was right off the end, and it was a well-placed slider, but when you get behind in the count, bad things happen.
You will run, but you're probably not going to bunt.
7 for 16. It's like there's a bubble around the strike zone. Like every time I throw a ball, it just like whoop, whoop, bloop. Just like can't go in the zone for whatever reason. This is awful. By far, my worst first pitch strike performance in the entire season.
Gotta get ahead, man. Long hold. Rushed.
So 2-0, I was not going to throw a fastball here because I figured he was sitting on it. I decided to go with my best command pitch, which is a cutter, because I needed a strike. I missed my spot terribly, but at least we got the strike. So let's see if we can do it again.
Let's go back to that.
Again, not where I was trying to throw it, but we got another strike, so now we're 2-2. And I'm confused again on his approach. Like, he wasn't triggering at those at all. Maybe he was just laying off all breaking balls. That's kind of what I was thinking in the moment, but I couldn't figure out what they were doing.
You haven't swung at 2 of them because you don't like it. What do you want? Just gotta get this down away. It's a freeze. Doors!
Now, I got lucky there. I got the strikeout, but that was a mental mistake. Trying to go down and away to a guy that hits fastballs down, it just doesn't make any sense. I'm not myself. I'm not firing well mentally. I'm not firing well physically. My command is terrible. My reads are terrible. I'm just like so discombobulated.
Might put a hit and run on here so we can go slide step again. Flores will try to bunt. Cutter to get ahead.
All right, 8 for 17, thank God. Again, nowhere close. It's a terrible cutter, but we got a strike. That's all we wanted.
You can go again. Dot. Little heater by you. Heater down away.
And the reason I thought heater down and away here, we talked about earlier in the video, you see his body language. You see his body leaning over the plate. You see him on his toes. He's taking a step towards the plate, looking for something slow, moving away from him. So I figured if I threw him something hard, coming back, he would read it off the plate and he would just take it for strike 3.
2 ball. Unbelievable.
That was not down and away, Trevor. That was in. And it did get his handle, and he didn't hit it well, but he found a hole. Whereas if it was just down and away, it's probably a free strikeout. This is a masterclass in how not to execute in the playoffs. If you're ever in a playoff game, or any game for that matter, don't do this.
That ball's not hit well, but they're finding holes today, so use a ground ball here. Should be an out.
9 for 18, down and in, first pitch, could easily have been a homer. Not where I was trying to throw it, but hey, first pitch, balls go 2 people, so you just got to throw it in the zone.
So Brewer's hunting cutter. We got a Guto on deck, so we can lead a curveball here.
9 for 19 on first pitch strikes, and it's like every time I kind of get my head right about to be above water, I just slip back under. I'm still drowning. Bad things happen when you're behind the count, so hopefully this ball will go to someone.
Heater away. Unfucking real. Throw him out. Oh my God, dude. We've got to get a strikeout here.
Oh my goodness. That ball is not even a strike. That ball was mid-shin. But he hits balls down, and I'm throwing the ball down, and I'm behind in the count, and they're finding holes. Like, everything is going wrong right now. And to make matters worse, the guy on second, Rodriguez, had some bad knees and wasn't running that well. So they'd actually put the stop sign on at third to hold him there until my left fielder missed the ball, and then he ended up scoring, and we gave up an extra base to both runners on base. Everything is going wrong.
Let's go.
Nine for 20 on first pitch strikes, and we got Amarista on deck, and I really don't want to face him with people on, so I need to get this guy out. Falling behind 2-0 is not the way to do that.
Come on, Trevor.
Now, it was 97, but it was a ball, and it was down and in. Don't throw the ball down and in ever again.
Should be an out. Come on, give it to me.
Well, I threw 4 balls out at bat, but thankfully he hit it to someone and we got out of the inning. This is still a winnable game. It's still manageable, but it sucks being down, and it sucks not being able to shut the door on their offense when our offense scores. We just came back, tied the game up, now we're right back behind. That's tough on the offense.
All day. Yeah. Been behind everybody. I don't know what's going on.
Give me a good one right here.
Yeah.
No runs for our offense in the bottom of the 4th, so going out for the 5th, I'm still behind 4-3, but I was thinking in my head, you know what? Everything that can possibly go wrong has already gone wrong, so we're gonna be fine from here, try to get 2 more innings in. Offense is gonna come back. Not for a second did I think we were losing this game.
All right, Alexi. You got me last time, so I owe you.
Ten for 21 on first pitch strikes, and actually probably the best pitch that I've thrown all night. It was like perfectly on the corner, right where I wanted it. I'm just gonna do that again because he's got no power over there.
Where's the ball?
Oy vey. I've never seen him hit that ball hard, not even for power, like maybe a single the other way. He is scorching hot though in the playoffs right now. He's hitting above 400 for the playoffs, and clearly he's seeing me extremely well because that wasn't even a strike.
Homer? Unbelievable. I never even saw that ball. So you got 1 to left and 1 to right, huh? Should have gone with my cutter in.
The broadcast didn't show it because it was still focused on the almighty Alexi Amarista, but I did throw strike 1. So we're now 11 for 22 on first pitch strikes.
Peter in.
Trevor, don't throw pitches down and in. I'm so annoyed watching this. Ugh.
Curveball down again, or back foot cutter? Sweeper in. They're just not swinging at good pitches there. It's interesting.
Okay, but the reason they're not swinging at that is because I haven't established first pitch strikes. I haven't established a middle tunnel for strikes with multiple movements. I haven't thrown balls up in the zone to even set up a tunnel. Every fastball that I've thrown has been down. Everything that I've thrown has been down or way up where they just can ignore it. So there are reasons they're not swinging at these types of pitches at this point in the game. Early in the game, I couldn't figure it out, but now I've not done myself any favors to open up those holes. So this is just bad. Bad execution, bad mental, and bad execution.
Peter down a line. It's 2 really good curveballs that they didn't swing at. It's confusing. Harwood. Oh. Nice play.
And we've made it. We are finally above 50% first pitch strikes at 12 for 23. And as a reward, we got ourselves some firewood. And if you want to get yourself some firewood, you can check out trevorbauer.com. We have firewood t-shirts, we got sword t-shirts, we got window shopper and wind farmer t-shirts, we have all sorts of sword merchandise, we got keychains. There's a lot of great stuff at trevorbauer.com, and we offer free shipping in the US on orders over $75. So get yourself a bundle, get yourself a couple t-shirts, maybe you want this sword hat. It's all at trevorbauer.com, so you can scan this QR code, click the link in the description, or just search trevorbauer.com and get your merch today.
We gotta get some heaters in here. They're diving on sliders.
Right back down to 50%, 12 for 24.
Late.
And the 1-0 pitch was extremely dangerous. I went fastball in, drew his eyes there, and then I went just middle fastball that was super hittable to a guy that hits fastballs kind of middle in. I got really lucky they fouled that off.
Right off the end, out. I'm good for one more. I got plenty of pitches. Save the bullpen here.
10 more pitches.
What's that?
Go get 10 more. Good 80.
Yeah, I'm good for like 95, right? That's another inning. I got the bottom of the order coming up.
I have Menez ready in here.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say it was full ball on the plate.
But it was at or half, right?
Yeah.
He doesn't, and it was up.
It wasn't up. It was
But it was upper
mid
half.
zone for him, in my opinion.
I'll go check it.
Yeah,
That's odd because he never hits anything up and away that way.
I did just like drag late barrel.
I never even saw the ball. I thought he just sprayed it foul.
Yeah, that Alexi Amarista homer was not up. I don't know what I was seeing in the game, but I was not seeing the correct stuff, that's for sure.
Wasn't even a strike. It was at the knees, off the plate away. Homer. Their day, I guess. SB.
Yes, sir.
That pitch to Amarista was at the knees, off the plate away.
Yeah, well, right there. I was talking to Sega about him.
I've never seen him hit a ball that way.
Fucking got wood on it, you know?
He's hot right now.
Yeah.
It's like we got to avoid him. He's like just pitch around him, get everybody else out.
Yeah, because take a look.
He's responsible for 4 of their 5 runs.
Yeah.
No runs for the offense in the bottom of the 5th, so I went out for the top of the 6th, and of course, Trevor Bauer start, so there has to be rain.
Oh, it's gonna rain.
13 for 25 on first pitch strikes, thank God.
Curveball. Whoa.
Woe's right, I'd never miss with a curveball up and into a lefty. That was just very weird. I don't know what that was.
It's fine.
Why did he feel me?
Wouldn't be a Trevor Bauer start without rain.
And that was it for my pitching in game 1. The game was rain delayed. We ended up losing the game 5-4, and that was my first loss in Mexico the entire season. Now let's get to game 5 because things went a little bit differently and the stakes were way higher. Honestly, I didn't even know if I was going to get to pitch game 5 because we lost the first game and the second game and the third game. We were down 3-0 in the series, and if we'd lost game 4, I wouldn't have gotten to pitch again. Thankfully, we won game 4 by scoring 16 runs, so by the time I was warming up for the game, we were down 3-1 in the series against the hottest team in the league, one of the hottest teams I've ever seen, and I had to shut them down after they beat me around pretty good in game 1. Or my team's season was over.
I went to the room, umpire's room, and I asked them, and they told me if it's like that, really light, we're gonna start at time, okay? If it's not, you know, they should tell us. But that's the only point. I don't want you to warm up, you know, and then when if the rain comes, you know, stop and restart.
Yeah.
But
I mean, right now we're starting on time, right?
yeah,
So
if it's like that.
I gotta just get ready. Yeah.
Yeah, wouldn't be a Trevor Bauer start without the rain. Fortunately, I've had a couple rain delays in Oaxaca before. When I struck out 19 and set the league record, there was rain delays. So I was comfortable in this stadium with the rain.
Well, I've pitched a couple elimination games in my career. Haven't lost one that I've started yet. Don't plan on it tonight. I think the boys are gonna be fun. Gotta throw strike 1. That's the key.
That was one of my 2 cues on the night. I needed to throw strike 1 because I was terrible in the first game, which is why I drew your attention to it early in the video. Now, after game 1, I was at the hotel eating breakfast the next morning, and we were staying at the same hotel as the Oaxaca players. And one of their pitchers came up and started talking to me, said that the team had been watching my YouTube videos, that they had me figured out, that I give away way too much free information in these videos. And I said, no, I don't think that was it. I was just really bad. I didn't execute well, my command was terrible, I was behind in all the counts. And then he started taking offense because he thought I wasn't giving them credit, which isn't true. They had a great approach. They beat me, as you saw in the game. I'm more than happy to admit that. But I was also bad. So I was not going to be bad in this game. My 2 cues then were throw strike 1, and I had to get fastballs up and into righties. Their offense had been super hot all series. They've been hitting homers, they've been getting singles, they've been walking, they've just been beating us. All in all, their offense was beating our pitching staff. And when you have a hot offense like that, it's imperative that you get fastballs up and in a lot. Now, you're not trying to hit anybody, but the offense is not hot because they're hitting fastballs up and in. That's not why an offense gets hot, because no one really throws heaters up and in as a primary attack plan. So if an offense is really hot, it's because they're hitting fastballs away, they feel very comfortable in the box, and they're seeing the breaking balls early and they can react to them because there's no tunnels being set up. So if you're ever facing an offense that's super hot, drive fastballs up and in, specifically the first time through the order. You're going to miss a couple, they're going to be a little bit up and in, and hitters are going to be more uncomfortable. You're also going to get a lot of strikes and a lot of free outs up there. How's that for some free information?
Thanks, SB. Here we go. Let's go.
Pat, remember, set it middle before 2 strikes. We're just going to go right at him. Before my first pitch of the game, let me set the stage here. We'd cleared benches with these guys twice already in this series, in 4 games. Tensions were quite high. I didn't have any beef with their guys, but that was about to change. The crowd here had been heckling the heck out of our team, and the night before this game, they'd actually thrown a rock through our bus window. So our bus had a broken window and there's glass everywhere. It was not great. There's a lot on this game because we were down 3-1. If we lose, we're out. And for the team with the best winning record in all of the world, in all of professional sports this year, that would have been terrible. So there's a lot on the line here. Let's see how it went.
All right, Barrera. Heater's up, and you're definitely swinging the first pitch. Perfect.
Now, I'm not going to count the first pitch strikes in this game like I did in the last game, but pay attention to it for yourself. That's one. You'll see that pretty much everybody I was ahead of.
Up middle. Late.
After 2 fastballs and seeing that he was late on the second one, I decided to go with a curveball down. Now this curveball had a good chance of being successful because the first pitch of the at-bat was up and middle. So now the curveball is going to come out of the exact same tunnel, and I'm hoping to get a swing here.
Good pitch. You out. That's a strikeout. I'll take it. I don't know what to call it, but 0-2 bunt.
2-out bunt in the first game. 0-2 bunt here. I mean, respect to them, I guess, for trying to make something happen, but I've not seen that before. I don't think I've ever had someone bunt with 2 strikes against me. See something new every day at the field, but that's 1 strikeout for the night. Off to a great start.
Okay, Dodger swung first pitch last time. Oh boy, that was nowhere close. Go back to it. Right on it. Now we can go slider and fastball in. Should be an out. Beautiful.
I had a little bit of a mental lapse in this second at bat. I needed to get fastballs in early, and I knew that, but I ended up just going with 3 straight sliders. Now, fortunately, I got a ground out here, but to one of their righties, I had to drive fastballs in here. This is a missed opportunity for me.
So we got Emerista now. Could lead curveball here, cut her in.
Already this game, I can see that something is a little bit different. Their approach has definitely changed, and I don't know if they did it on purpose or if it was just in the flow of the series, but they've now chased 2 pitches out of the zone, especially on a first pitch there. Emerista clearly was looking to be aggressive after they were patient in their first game. Maybe this is the cat and mouse game. Maybe they thought, okay, we were patient. He's going to try to throw first pitch strikes. We're going to go jump ship and get on him. I don't know, but definite difference from the first game.
Don't cheat, my guy. Now we're going heater up and in.
Missed my spot by a little bit, but it was a good fastball. It was in, it just wasn't quite up enough. That could have been a homer, but I'm fortunate he missed it, and we're 0-2. Power count, exactly where we want to be.
Back cut cutter. Forcing him up and away. I like that pitch. We got curveball, we got heater up and away. Heater up and away, I think.
The reason I liked heater up and away there is because I had started the curveball at the top and he had swung at that tunnel and it had buried itself below the zone. So if I start the fastball up, he's either going to take it thinking it's going to be a curveball down, or he's going to be late on it because there's going to be confusion with that curveball.
Force!
And we got exactly what we wanted. Blew it right by him. 2 strikeouts in the first inning.
2 punches. Same amount that I had last game. What do we got?
95, that was the strikeout. 95-17. That's the slider to the back foot. -5, -1. 95-13. So that was your best fastball.
After a quick check with Octavio on my data and how my stuff was moving, it was time for the second inning. Still a 0-0 ball game.
Kyle Martin, get ahead. Love that top of the zone that we're getting it tonight.
When I get the top of the zone like that, it's going to be a tough night for any offense. And this is exactly why. Look at the second pitch. So the first pitch started on the up tunnel. The second pitch started above that. He read ball and it dropped into the zone. Now I have all sorts of options. I can start a fastball on the curveball tunnel. It'll be well above the zone. I might get a swing. I can start a curveball on the fastball tunnel. It'll start in the zone and it might go below the zone and I might get a swing. I also have thrown 2 pitches that have started up, so his eyes are looking up. I can freeze with something down. I just have so many options here, and since I'm so far ahead in the count, I can utilize all of them. I can take some shots, try to get some swings and misses. Such a difference already in this game, being ahead in the count versus behind. Everything is opening up. I recognize the sequences better. I have different options. The hitters are defensive. This is a much better start.
Heater up and away or up and in? Doors!
Yep, there's that fastball up and a little bit of confusion, and we get it by him. 3 strikeouts.
Gotta get this heater up and in.
Another first pitch strike, and it was up and in. Double bonus. Let's go right back to it.
Go right back there.
Now that's probably the pitch he should have hit. I missed my spot. It was a little bit away. I was trying to go up and in, further up and in than the prior one, but look, we're 0-2, and I'm going to play those odds. If he wants to hit that pitch behind 0-1, by all means, swing at it. Give me a free out.
Yep. He's not expecting that. Turn off your fists.
Now normally I would have gone with a slider here. Got a fastball up and in, so if I throw the slider for a strike, it hides in the tunnel of the fastball. I got a fastball away, so if I start the slider away and it breaks off the plate, it hides in the tunnel of that fastball. This at-bat screamed slider to me, but first time through the order, this is a long game. I'm going to play the odds. I'm going to do something different than the scouting report, take the first time through the order, confuse them a little bit. That way I have the weapons that I need later in the game if I encounter a big situation. So back to the fastball up and in, and as I said on the mound, he was not expecting it. Another first pitch fastball, basically in the middle, another 0-1 count.
I think we go the same sequence here that we did to Martin. I think we land a curveball. Yes!
And the reason we got the swing on that curveball is because the fastball started in that location and the curveball started in that location and broke out of the zone. I mean, check out the tunnel. Look how close these are. Our tunneling is clearly creating some confusion with the hitters at this point. Great sign.
We can go back to that and get a sword, or we can go heater up and away.
So 0-2, we went with the high fastball, perfectly at the top zone. We got a foul ball, and now we have everything wide open to us. This is the exact same at bat as Kyle Martin. We can throw a curveball for a strike. It's going to start above the fastball, land as a strike, get the called strike 3, just looking, window shopper. We can throw the curveball in the dirt and get the swing because we have that fastball, top zone, curveball is going to break down. We also have the first fastball of the at bat, middle of the zone, so if we land a curveball even a little bit shorter, as we saw with the second pitch, good chance he swings. So many options right here.
Okay, what do we want, 0-2? I think it's 0-2.
I was honestly surprised he fouled that curveball off because we had so many options, but we're just going to go right back to it.
Surprised you fouled that off. Pitch.
So through 2 innings, we got 4 strikeouts. We are cruising so far, but we cannot lapse mentally. No mental mistakes. We have to stay sharp and focused.
Get up, ball. All right, well, we got 1 run, which should make this game winnable. I just need to focus on shutdown inning. They cannot score this inning.
Oh yeah, shutdown innings. Okay, through the first 3 games of this series, we had exactly 1 shutdown inning. And that means that every single time besides 1 that our offense scored, their offense scored immediately after. That is not a recipe for winning a game. It's demoralizing, and it has been demoralizing this entire series. But that wasn't going to happen tonight. I had to place a huge emphasis on getting a 0 this inning. Whatever I could do to get a 0 this inning, I needed it. That way we could maintain the lead. So that was the emphasis going out for the 3rd.
Shutdown inning. Strike 1, shut these guys down.
Getting behind 1-0 was not the best way to start, but I was in aggressive attack mode, right back to the heater.
So after 4 heaters, curveball or cutter? I like curveball here. Heater or cutter in?
And that was a good at bat all around. I executed well, he fouled off some pitches, had a good at bat, and there's mutual respect there. I was happy that I got the strikeout. He nodded at me like, okay, good sequence, and you know what? Man to man, I respect that. Good on you, good on me. You're gonna get me sometimes, I'm gonna get you sometimes. Well done, respect. Next up is Flores, and remembering from game 1, he had been leaning out over the plate. He'd been leaning on sliders, taking sliders away, so I needed to get fastballs up and in on him, definitely. He's one of the main ones that I had to stand up.
Okay, go back there.
And that's exactly what I was talking about earlier, where sometimes you're going to miss up and in and you're going to make hitters uncomfortable. He kind of flinched to get out of the way of that, and the following pitch was right in the middle.
Get off my plate, bitch.
But because I had thrown the last pitch up and in, and he had flinched at it and kind of gotten out of the way, he didn't even get a swing off on this very hittable fastball up middle. So now we're 1-2 with a ton of options open.
No, I'm not going slider. I'm going down with the curveball on the plate.
And the reason I wanted the curveball is because he'd been looking for sliders in the first game. So I was like, I'll throw my other breaking ball. Maybe he'll see that fastball tunnel up and in, swing, and the curveball will be down. But
good take. Kind of like heater down away here.
I executed that heater down the way perfectly. I just didn't get the freeze, which I was honestly surprised by, especially after 4 pitches starting up and in, 3 fastballs and a curveball. So good on him for fouling that off.
Go slider strike here.
But now, when I go back to the slider, he's nowhere close at it, just waves at it. 5th strikeout on the night. And look what he does after the at-bat. He gives me like the little fastball signal, like, hey, throw me a heater and challenge me. I'm like, dude, I just threw you 3 fastballs. What do you want? It's a playoff game. This is where it started getting a little chippy. I'm like, what the hell are you doing talking to me, telling me to throw you fastballs? Freaking hit what I throw you.
First pitch slider.
Nailed the first pitch slider, and this is me trying to mix up my sequences. Sometimes I'm gonna go first pitch heater in, sometimes I'm gonna go breaking balls early. In the first game, I hadn't thrown very many first pitch sliders. I'd thrown a lot of first pitch cutters. So now I'm throwing the bigger pitch because it's gonna start inside on the plate and break away. Then when I throw the fastball, it's gonna start in and run in, so I'm creating this weird separation on the inner part of the plate using different sets of tunnels, and it's gonna open up different opportunities for me later in the game.
Now we go heater up and in.
I pretty much dotted both of those fastballs, but I am behind 2-1, which isn't ideal, but those both serve a purpose because I've shown that I will go in there. They are close pitches. He has to pay attention to it, and I've executed it twice in a row. So it's not just a fluke thing where you can ignore it and say, okay, he went in once, but I'm still gonna look out over the plate because he won't come back in there again. So overall, if we're gonna be in a 2-1 count, this is one of the ways that you wanna get there.
Late on trigger there.
Those two up and in fastballs probably protected the next pitch, which was just a middle fastball. But I did read on the second fastball up and in that he was way late triggering for the fastball, so I knew I had some wiggle room there, and I didn't have to be perfect. So I get that weak little ground ball to second base, and that's a shutdown inning, which is massive. We need to put up a couple more runs here.
Let's go! Come on! Come on, let's go! Let's go! Come on, let's go! This would happen. Rain, man. Every time I pitch. Are we still on the half an hour rule?
We're on the Trevor Bauer rule tonight.
Yeah, my manager Lowe has a rule that if a starting pitcher sits for more than half an hour during a rain delay, he's done, and I think it's a great rule. But this is playoffs. It's an elimination game. I was not coming out of this game. Not 1-0.
Let's get this show on the road. Pull the tarp, let's go.
So after it stopped raining, while they were getting the field ready, I went down to the bullpen and simulated like an inning to try to keep myself loose. But this is just not ideal. I was locked in. I have no idea how my body's going to respond after sitting for close to half an hour. We'll see.
When we win this series, no one will be able to say it was easy.
Unbelievable, man.
Thank you.
Back out for the top of the fourth. It's a 1-0 ball game, and we're facing the top of the order. It's been 9 up, 9 down thus far. Let's see if we can keep it going. First pitch strike, and had he pulled it, it might have been a homer, but he hit it to the wrong part of the field. Those are chances I'm willing to take. 1 pitch, 1 out, great start.
You don't have that power, Barrera. Yes, 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 yes.
Okay, if we're keeping track, the first time I faced this guy, I threw him a first pitch slider for a ball and followed it up with 2 sliders. Now I've thrown him another first pitch slider for a ball. I gotta get fastballs in on him. That was my whole goal, and for whatever reason to this guy, I hadn't done it yet.
In!
And you know, bad things happen when you're behind in the count. Another 1-0 well-placed slider to a righty that gets blooped in. Happened to me in the first game, happened here. I don't know what happened, but that's a mental mistake both times to Daza. I needed to get fastballs in on him to open that pitch up. And now, with 1 out, we have the hottest hitter on the planet, Alexi Amarista, up, and he's got 3 homers off me thus far this year. So I decided to go right at him. 2 curveballs for strikes and a fastball right down the middle. Now, was this the smartest place to throw the fastball? No, but I was going to attack him. I was going to force him to defend against me instead of me being behind in the count to him. I'm very fortunate that he fouled that middle fastball off, but I'm going to use that. He just swung at it. He was a little bit late. If I throw something that looks like that and isn't, he's going to be out. And I throw a nasty curveball right out of the same tunnel, and I get my strikeout for the 7th on the night. All right, we're getting a little squirrely here. 2 of the 3 hitters this inning, I've been behind in the count 1-0. Now maybe this is a little bit to do with the rain delay, breaking my rhythm, but it's not an excuse. I gotta get back in the zone.
Back!
Now here's another little mental mistake that I made during the game. I started completely ignoring the guy on first base. I didn't expect him to be stealing, but I just wasn't thinking about him. I was just so focused on getting Kyle Martin out that I gave up an extra base because I was going with a high leg kick and the same timing. So that stolen base is on me. My catcher obviously didn't even get a throw off because I was so slow to the plate. And this could kill me because if I give up a little bloop hit, it's going to be a run. But I didn't plan on giving up any little bloop hits tonight. I didn't plan on giving up any runs at all. And I threw a nasty curveball out of the same tunnel as those 2 up fastballs, and we get the swing and miss. 8 on the night.
Who fucking wants some? Come fucking get it!
I'm talking about it. Go! Come on!
Feel normal?
Yeah.
We have a
Yeah.
delay and everything?
Okay. Good, Chippy! 1 more hit, this guy takes an early shower. This just to get the guy in the pen loose. Just to delay.
How long is this mountain meeting?
Let him know, Kev, let him know. We need a hit right now before they delay this thing again. Because they got like 30 seconds more and they're going to bang it.
In the bottom of the fourth, we had their starter on the ropes. We had scored 2 runs. There's guys on second and third with 1 out, and the rain started coming again.
They are so fucking lucky. Every fucking time they're about to give it up, it fucking rains. It was the first time?
13 minutes.
13 minutes.
13?
13.
Yeah,
That's all
they don't count when
They don't
put the
count
south-
when they're fixing the
south-
field.
the cover.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll see how it plays out. I've thrown 49 pitches right now.
Yeah.
If this was it for today, I can pitch game 7. Obviously, you have to win this one first and game 6.
Yeah, of course.
But it's something to put on the to put some thought into, just to see where, you know, if this extends out for 40, 45 minutes and it's a borderline call.
Makes sense, you know, just because the amount of pitches here can give you opportunity to recover.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I can go back out tonight and finish this one off.
We can get you back out there within a reasonable amount of time.
Yeah, I mean, obviously a reasonable amount of time I go back out.
Yeah.
But if this starts pushing 40, 45, 50,
Different.
it's something to
Yeah.
at least consider.
Oh, yeah.
That's why we needed a hit there, because 5-0, this decision's a lot different than 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, this is a key moment in this game because coming back from 1 rain delay is tough, but coming back from 2 is even tougher. In fact, I don't really know of a scenario where a pitcher has endured 2 rain delays and kept pitching. But there's a lot of stuff going on in this game, a lot of strategic decisions to be made depending on how long this rain delay goes. It's 3-0. We need to get more runs here. We have guys on second and third, so it might end up being 5 or more, but we don't know that until after the rain delay, and I'm going to have to be ready to pitch or not pitch depending on it. So the decision has to be made before we see if we score more runs. If it's 5-0 in the 5th, our bullpen can probably handle that, but their offense has also been super hot, and this ballpark has a lot of runs scored in it. So there's that to consider. There's also the fact that we're going to have to win games 6 and 7 to advance, and our pitching's been beaten up a little bit, so we're trying to figure out with the rain and stuff who's going to pitch when. So that was on the table, and that's all stuff that we were discussing in the dugout, trying to make the right strategic decisions while the rain was coming down. Fortunately, the rain only lasted another 25 or 30 minutes, so I went back to the bullpen to warm up, throw my second fake inning, and try to stay in this game. And thankfully, we did end up cashing in those 2 runs. So with a 5-0 lead going out for the bottom of the 5th, I was pretty sure this game was done. There's no way they were going to score 5 on me in this game. Unless the mound was super soft and wet, which it was. So I had to have the grounds crew come out and fix it, so I had a stable landing foot. There's no way I was letting the mound affect me and have me start walking people and lead to a big inning. Not in a game that mattered this much.
It's okay. Gracias.
After they fixed the mound, it was back to the game. My approach, throw strike 1. No, that's not strike 1. We need to throw a strike here. All right, we got through the first hitter. We're behind 2-1, not really firing on all cylinders, but we will take that. Get ahead in the count. That's the key. Throw strike 1.
We got a curveball set up there. Foul ball. You actually turn on a fastball in.
And that was surprising to me because he usually doesn't get the barrel to fastballs in, but he got the barrel to that one and he pulled it just foul. So definitely something that stood out to me. Now, even though we were behind in the count 1-0 to this guy, this is what I was talking about with that fastball up and away, out of the zone, setting up the curveball. Now, did he swing at this curveball and miss it because of that fastball? I don't know, but it definitely came out of a very similar tunnel and probably created some confusion. Because normally, he hammers breaking balls in the zone. And he didn't come close to hitting that one.
No reason to go away from that, just throw it down.
And in a 1-2 count, he decided to pull one of his favorite tricks. He steps in the box. As soon as I get my sign, he calls time and steps out, tries to freeze me. He always does it in 2-strike counts, but I had seen that in this series, and I had something planned for him. Yeah, I didn't take too kindly to that, but I had my pitch. I knew what I was throwing. I was set. As soon as the umpire pointed to me, quick pitch curveball. Sorry, bud. It's what you get for stepping out. There's no real way to defend against it. You want to step out next time? I'll do the same thing. And that's my 9th strikeout on the night. 16 outs, 9 by way of K.
You! Call time on me, asshole. You!
Oh, the PFPs. I fielded it, I was slow to the ball, I did everything right, and I just missed the throw a little bit. I thought my first baseman was able to keep his foot on the base, but on review, he was not, and now we got a guy on. But it's all right. Remember, we have a 5-run lead. I need to get back to throwing strike one. I can't start getting behind in the count. Throw strike one. And fastball right down the middle is a great start for strike one. And he squared around to like fake bunt. Maybe he should have just tried to hit the fastball, especially since last at bat he was bitching after he swung at a slider about throw me more fastballs like a little gnat. Like, maybe you should be up there ready to hit a fastball, because there's your fastball that you wanted so bad that you're complaining that I threw you off-speed stuff in a playoff game that's an elimination game, and the rules of baseball state that I can throw whatever pitch I want, and you can't hit the slider, so I don't know why you're bitching, but there's your fastball, dude. Why didn't you hit it? After I missed with the slider really badly, and he still was kind of leaning out over the plate a little bit, I decided to stand him back up with a fastball in, and I got it exactly where I wanted to. I would have loved to strike right there, but I'm fine being 2-1 after that because it served a purpose. So 2-1, I decided to go back with the fastball in, and this one I did throw for a strike, and now I've again doubled up on fastball in. So I've shown him that I will go back in there, and I'm not just going in there for effect. I will throw strikes in there. And now because I have 2 fastballs up and in, I have a great tunnel to hide the slider in. So I decided to throw a 2-2 slider. And that's my 10th strikeout on the night, and I was pretty fired up after that. I mean, he's going to be there bitching about throwing fastballs and this and that, give me a fastball, whatever he's thinking, like a little gnat. Like, well, I gave you some fastballs, 3 of them in that at bat, and you didn't hit any of them, so fuck you.
Take a seat. Call time on me in 2-strike counts. Not the right thing to do. Saturday.
It was pretty impressive that you threw that and you didn't lost stuff. Like it was 80 and 26 inches.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't gonna lob one in there because, yeah, if he swings at it.
Yeah. But you didn't sacrifice.
Yeah. Yeah. And I saw him do that. I was like, okay, I'm just coming set. As soon as the umpire points at me, I'm throwing.
No more runs for my offense in the top of the 6th, so going out for the bottom of the 6th, I was facing hitters 9, 1, and 2, and if they were ever going to have a chance of getting back in this game, this was going to be the important inning, because if the bottom of the order could get something started, then they had the meat of their order up with people on base, and this game could get close real quick. So this is an important inning to go and have a shutdown. Yeah, starting 2-0 is not good, but if you've been paying attention, you'll notice I have 2 fastballs up and in, so we can use that later in the at-bat.
In the zone, gotta be in the zone. Gotta do it again. That's an out.
But up 5-0, I wasn't gonna go to the slider in a behind count, so I was just gonna challenge him with fastballs and hope that he hit it at someone, and he did. He got good wood on it. He hit it about 395 feet, but wrong part of the ballpark, and I'll take it, 1 out. So with 1 out, next up was Barrera. Now remember, he tried to bunt in a 2-strike count, and he hit a fastball to center and didn't have the power to get it out. So we need to get ahead of him, but he's clearly looking to make something happen.
Now get ahead. Foul ball.
And that's another one that I haven't seen on a baseball field. No one's ever tried the running slap hit against me. Very softball move there, but clearly he's trying to make something happen.
See, that ran away from him. So we could get a cutter in here or a curveball.
So you should recognize this sequence by now. Fastball at the top of the zone, curveball that starts above it, landing for a strike. So many options. Elevated fastball above the zone, curveball in the dirt. Everything's open right here.
Try to bunt again, 2 strikes.
Oh, we almost had our sword right there. We almost had it. But we're just going to go right back to it because he bit on that one, so he's probably going to swing at the next one.
Good take on his part. 1-2, okay. Fuck you! Fuck you! Go back to the dugout!
And what the hell is this reaction? He's sitting there yelling about throw me a fastball and telling me to suck it. Like, dude, this is a playoff game. It's an elimination game. If my team loses, we go home, our season's over, and I'm just supposed to sit there and throw you a fastball? Also, maybe don't try to bunt the fastball foul in 2 strikes. Maybe hit the ball out of the ballpark and have some power when you get the fastball in the second at bat. Or maybe on the middle first pitch fastball here, don't try the slap running hit. Maybe be a baseball player. What the hell are you doing bitching about me not throwing you a fastball? Are you kidding me?
Hit the f***ing breaking ball then.
Yeah, their manager has the right idea. Play baseball. Maybe his players should listen. The crowd, though, was following after their player, and they started to boo me and chant obscenities at me. You know, like chinga su madre, which means F your mother, and puto Bauer, which means Bauer's a bitch. So it was getting a little bit raucous in the crowd. And what they don't know, though, is that fires me up, and that's the last thing you want to do, because I thrive in those environments. It just makes me feel alive. So now I was kind of pissed. First pitch fastball right down the middle, and I put pretty much everything I had on it. The broadcast didn't show it, but it was a foul ball, 0-1. We throw a second pitch fastball and get in on him. This is me correcting my mental mistake from earlier. I had thrown Daza 5 straight sliders. He'd gotten a bloop and put a ball in play, and I was not going to make the same mistake. I was going to get some fastballs up and in on him, which I should have done from the first at bat. And it worked. We got exactly what we wanted, weak contact, little dribbler on the infield, but unfortunately, he still ended up on first base, and now we face Alexi Amarista with a man on base, which is not what I wanted to do. However, I was pretty fired up at this time, so I wasn't too concerned about it.
Late on that curveball up and in, so we go heater up and in here.
Got the ball down to him, and that's what he's doing. Now, normally that's what he does on fastballs down and away, is he just shoots it through the hole. Because the runner was stealing, my shortstop was covering, a really well-executed piece on his part. Props to him. But also, look at him running down the line, yelling at me, chirping. Usually he doesn't do that. He's a pretty centered player. I talked to him after he hit the first homer off me. We were at the All-Star game together, and I was like, hey, why didn't you pimp it? He's like, hey, Poppy, I have too much respect for you. I'm not going to do that. Oh, okay. I wouldn't have taken it wrong if he did. I think it would have been a cool moment for him to, show some emotion. It would have been a super clippable moment, but that's the type of player he is. So the fact that he's yelling at me during the game shows you exactly how chippy this game and this series had gotten at this point. Okay, now back to the game for a second. This is exactly what I did not want to have happen. I didn't want to have runners on base facing the middle of the order where one mistake could cost me 3 or 4 runs and make this a game again and give them all the momentum. And that's exactly where we're at. We need to get this guy out and shut this inning down. No more. This has to end right here. After 2 curveballs, and he took them, no reason to go away from it. I'm just going to throw this as hard as I can below the zone and hope to get a swing. And that's exactly what we got, and I was fired up. Yeah, that's one of my favorite things, when I'm just walking off the field, not paying attention to them, and they're reacting to me. We did this in game 2, where little Flores guy was talking crap to our catcher and started a brawl. We're the ones that reacted and went out on the field. We were playing their game. But now, in game 5, must-win game, roles had been reversed. They were now playing my game, and I was not going to lose this one.
Hit the breaking ball. Bitching about not throwing fastballs? Are you kidding me?
In the top of the 7th, we put up 3 more runs, and we are now up 8-0. This game is over. And at this point, since I could relax a little bit, I started to think about something that might be kind of cool. I got 12 strikeouts through 6 innings here. The record is 19. You know who set that record? I did, against this team in their stadium last time I pitched here. So if I can get 3 strikeouts this inning, I might try to argue to go a complete game and try to get 20 and really embarrass them. Whoa! Slider strike 1 is a good start.
Wanted to chase that. We got heater up and in, open.
Unfortunately, I missed a little bit too much with the heater to get a strike, but I'm not mad about that pitch. Make him back off. I have a tunnel set up with a curveball now for a freeze. Not a bad pitch. You might recognize that sequence to this guy because I've now done it 3 times fastball up and in, fastball middle, and I've gotten him out twice on it. This time, luckily for him, he fouled it off, but I wanted my strikeout anyway, so I was cool with that. Ah, that was almost it. That would have been electric. But now that it's 3-2, I can't walk the guy. I'm not going to give him free base runners and let him start chipping away because, again, we do have to win the game. So this isn't about strikeout. It's just challenging him right down the middle.
This is going to be challenge in the zone.
We got a strikeout anyway, so that's now 13. And I have 8 outs left in this game. 8 strikeouts will put me at 21. So still everything to play for.
Ball your ass.
Oof, that ball was crushed. Remember last at bat against that guy though, where he pulled the fastball in foul and I was like, that's weird. He usually doesn't get to that. Yeah, he was on time for that and he started cheating to it. So I should have adjusted and gone away from it, but I didn't react quick enough to that and it cost me. Fortunately, we had an 8-run lead and it didn't matter. If it was a 1-run game, I probably would have thrown him a curveball or something different there. But 8-0, I'm just gonna challenge you. Get your hit if you can.
Have your 1 run. You can have it. Need that cutter in the zone.
Yeah, I needed that cutter in the zone because I needed to be ahead. Now I just need to get a strike.
That's an out.
Whoa!
Oof. He hit the ball pretty hard, right at my center fielder, fortunately for me, but it was a middle fastball, so I'll take it. But I would really like to get this next strikeout to keep me alive for breaking my own record. And what a perfect guy to do it against. Flores, who I've already struck out twice tonight. Now, in the background during this at-bat, you can definitely hear the crowd chanting Bauer Puto, which the atmosphere right now was electric, and the whole entire inning, they were yelling at me. First pitch, cutter, strike. Next up, fastball in, try to blow it by him, and then we're gonna get him with the slider like we have 2 times tonight. And he put it in play. I mean, nothing you can do about that. You got to throw strikes. Almost an error on my third baseman, but he made a great play, stayed with it, found the ball in the air somehow. I don't know how. Usually when you bobble a ball like that, you can't find it, but he found it, caught it, made a good throw to first, and we're out of the inning. 7 innings, 13 Ks, and you know, I figured now with no history on the line in an 8-0 game, it was probably my last inning. And I wanted to thank the crowd for being just so polite to me the entire night, saying the nicest things they could possibly think of to me about my pitching. So I had a little something for them. And they gave it to me, you know? They started yelling at me, they started booing. Someone even decided to give me a beer though. They threw an open beer to me, I assume just to congratulate me, I don't know. But they were throwing stuff at me, they were yelling at me. It was great. I mean, I'm here to entertain. Are you not entertained?
Let's finish it off.
Okay, if it rains.
Outstanding, Papa. Excellent job, man. You're the one.
Yep. Live to fight another day. Let's go.
Yeah.
And we finished the game off 8-1 to stay alive, setting the stage for one of the greatest comebacks in sports history. If you haven't seen that video, it's great. You won't regret watching it. You should check it out right here. And if you enjoyed this video, or if you find this video entertaining, you'll definitely want to subscribe to the channel, because the next video is detailing the Serie del Rey, which is basically the Mexican League World Series, and you're not going to want to miss it.